because every adversity comes with a seed of opportunity. Every adversity comes with a seed of opportunity. You can choose to continue to doubt yourself and dig yourself into a hole, or you can continue to use that doubt to empower you to become aware of the things that you are uncertain about and become certain of them. What's your choice? I hope you make the right one, because the choice that you make moving forward, the dog that you deserve, that you decide to feed moving forward, will make all the difference. Are you going to feed the doubtful dog, or are you going to feed the inspiring dog, the positive dog, the dog that's going to help you live the life of your dreams? Don't ever doubt yourself, fam. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Why are you doubting yourself? You heard that, right? I hope that one didn't go over your head. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Don't doubt yourself. I'm here for you. I'm doing these podcasts for us to remind ourselves who we are and where we're going. Everything you want, it's yours. The car you want, it's yours. The house you want is yours. The clothes, the jewelry is yours. The beautiful vacation places you want to go to are yours. The bank accounts with 7 and 8 figures are yours. The family for your mom and dad is yours. Everything you want is yours. You just have to be deserving of it. And the way you become deserving is by what? Overcoming doubts, fears, and insecurities. So when these things arise in your life, be grateful for the doubts. You know why? Because they just exposed a place in an area in your life where you're uncertain. And like I said earlier, the best version of you is not uncertain. So take this message today and embody it, internalize this message, and tell yourself, repeat after me: I am successful. I am wealthy. I am certain of my goals. I am abundant. I am rich. I am consistent. I am wealthy. Why am I so good at being certain about my desires? Why am I so good at having quantum leaps in all areas of my life? And lastly, why am I so good at making choices that align with my desires? Repeat that to yourself. Because guess what? We are all so good and not doubting ourselves anymore either. Anytime you catch yourself doubting yourself or belittling yourself, I want you to speak words of empowerment to yourself that makes you certain of yourself. Because trust me, when I started this journey, guys, there were plenty of times where I would be uncertain. Am I going to get there? Am I going to make this money? Am I going to be able to develop this leader? Am I going to be able to be that successful investor? Am I going to be able to retire my family? But when I would catch myself having those thoughts, I would tell myself the complete opposite. I am going to be able to retire my parents. I am going to take this business to the next level. I am going to be that first millionaire in my family. I am. So believe in yourself and don't expect anyone else to believe in you. because it's not your job to get others to believe in you. Your job is to believe in yourself. And when everything that you asked for and you desired shows up in your physical reality, everybody becomes a believer. And now those that doubted you will celebrate you. Because remember, strangers will support your dreams before friends and family ever will. And friends and family won't support you until strangers start to celebrate you. So if you have close people close to you doubting you, it's okay. You have strangers like me who are celebrating you. And until I don't celebrate you, that's when your friends won't recognize you. It's the unfortunate truth. But that's the life that we live, and we just smile it off and we laugh and we're okay with this life because we embody and we embrace the journey and everything that it brings with it. Don't let your doubts be bigger than you. Be bigger than your doubts. Learn to play the game so that the game won't play you, fam. I hope you guys got value from this message, and I hope you guys take this with you today and know that you need to be certain about every single thing that you are asking for and that you have in your life. Certainty is key, and uncertainty will keep you in a hole. With that being said, I love you so much, fam. I hope you guys have an incredible rest of your days or your night, wherever time you're watching this at. And just know that this time next year, we will all be multiple 6 and 7 figure earners, living the life of our dreams and making the best of our reality. I love you guys so much and enjoy. To the top we go. It's the bottom. It's way too crowded. Let's go. Thank you for listening to Mornings with Nano. I would really appreciate it if you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and leave a comment below on how Mornings with Nano has brought value to your life. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys follow me on Instagram at Long Live Nano, Neno, so I can get you guys plugged in to my morning mastermind at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Remember, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. All right, guys, we're going to get started here in 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Take this time real quick and spread the word in your group chats and your telegrams, your Discord. I'm going to get the call started in exactly 60 seconds, guys. 60 seconds. So spread the word. I'm actually looking forward to today's call. The mountain is you. Take this time to grab a pen, grab a paper, and we're going to be started here in literally 60 seconds, guys. 60 seconds. All right, let's run this. Here we go. And there we are, familia. Grand rising, and happy Thursday. Hope everybody is having a beautiful, beautiful start to their mornings. Everybody can hear me and see me good. Can I please get a one in the chat box if you guys can all hear me and see me good? I'm so blessed. I'm so excited to be on this call with all of you. Wow. We have a lot of people on tonight's call. Not tonight's call, this morning's call. You know, when you run calls all day, you kind of get mixed up sometimes, but you know, we're all here. We're all ready to go. I want to appreciate you guys real quick. I want to take this time to just express some gratitude real quick to all of you. You know, for everybody that, you know, jumps on these calls, everybody that makes it a priority to be here every Tuesday and Thursday. You know, I do my best every single week to continue to grow, continue to elevate my lifestyle so that, you know, I can make sure that I am coming on here, not pouring into you guys from an empty cup, but from a full cup. And, you know, because you guys show up all the time, because you guys are always here, you know, I want to let you guys know I'm forced to grow. I'm forced to go out there and look for new information, learn more, you know, master this information more. And, you know, I couldn't have done it without the love, the appreciation, the support that you guys give me. I am truly, truly grateful for each and every single one of you guys. And I'm praying nothing but abundance, health, love, and everything over each and every single one of you guys. So again, for everybody that shows love, for everybody that supports the mornings with Nano, whoever's been here for years with me, I just want you guys to know I'm thankful. You know, I'm never going to stop doing these calls. Like, this is what I love to do. This is my passion. This is what I've dedicated my life to. And I've dedicated my life to becoming the best version of myself, growing in all areas, but also helping others do the exact same thing. So I'm excited for this call. I wanted to do this call on a very specific topic that I've been working on for the last 6.5 years of my life since I started personal development. And today's topic is the mountain is you. Okay, the mountain is you. And I have a really, really good training for you guys on this specific topic. The mountain is you. So if you guys are ready for this training, because just from the sounds of it, I'm pretty sure it already sounds pretty fire. If you guys ready for this, you guys ready to take notes, put some twos in the chat if you guys are ready for this one, because, you know, this one, you guys are going to be able to learn a lot from it. You're going to be able to gain a lot of perspective from this training as well. It's something that we all work on each and every single day. And I just want to make sure that we get right into this training, because I do have to be off at 11 on the dot. So I got about 40 minutes with you guys because I have a training right after this. So today's training is going to be the mountain is you. Okay, let me just organize this right here. Boom. Make sure everybody on Instagram got a solid view. All right. And for my people out on Instagram also, you guys can join me on YouTube if you guys want to. If you go to my bio in my Nano's exclusive mentorship chat, if you join that, I actually drop the link in there every Tuesday and Thursday, so you guys can be able to join just in case. I would love for you guys to join. So I want to make sure that I break this down for you guys and we get right into it. So the mountain is you. Let's talk about this training today. Let's talk about the mountain. Okay. Now, before we can get into anything, the first thing I got to do, number one, is I got to explain the metaphor, right? Because at the end of the day, it is a metaphor. The metaphor is the mountain is you. And I got to make sure that you guys understand the significance behind it, right? So the mountain is you. It basically represents life challenges. The mountain represents the obstacles and all the personal growth we have to go through in life. Okay. A lot of the times we spend a lot of time focusing on the money. We focus a lot of time focusing on, you know, the ranks that we got to hit, or the promotions at our job, or the cars we want to drive, or the houses we want to live in. But we tend to forget that at the end of the day, the main focus we got to make at the end of the day is focus on us, right? I want you guys to write this quote down. Focus on you until the focus is on you. I want you guys to write that quote down really quick. Focus on you until the focus is on you. Very life-changing quote that was told to me years ago that really hit me with a ton of bricks. And I was like, I had to hear it a couple of times, right? I had to focus on me until the focus was on me. And I did that. I did that for years. I focused on me. And over the years, all right, I've been blessed for the focus now to be on me. Now I get invited all around the world to speak on stages. Now I have a podcast that's ranked in the top 100 in Europe and in the United States. Now I'm able to do all of these amazing things. I'm a mindset educator, but what people don't know is that I had to put a lot of focus on me first. It was an incredible amount of focus on me that I had to do in order for me to get through that. There was a lot of challenges I had to overcome. There were a lot of obstacles I had to overcome in order for the focus to come on me. Because what most don't understand is this, is that what you practice in private, you get celebrated in public for. So what are you practicing in private? Are you actually taking the time to put focus on you in private? All right. And this is key because yesterday I was having a conversation with one of my leaders, and I was telling him about these things that I usually do on a monthly basis, right? And I used to do these things. I still do them all the time. They're called Zero Dark 30. Okay. And basically what I do is for 30 days, I go into like this massive focus. And maybe some of you guys should do this in May. I think May would be a great month right before the summertime to maybe do a Zero Dark 30 grind. Now, what is Zero Dark 30? Zero Dark 30 is for 30 days. You're going to put an incredible amount of focus and intention into yourself, right? Like, sometimes we say we're going to focus on us, but we end up slipping up. We end up forgetting to do certain things. We don't wake up at the time that we're supposed to wake up at. But the Zero Dark 30 grind is so intentional. I've done this so many times throughout my career that I truly believe that the Zero Dark 30 grind is what has gotten me to where I'm at today, right? Outside of God, right? This is what has gotten me there because it's been the intention behind what I've done during those Zero Dark 30 grind. Now, let me give you guys a perspective of what I would do. So, for example, I would pick a time and I would be like, all right, for these next 30 days, let's say we start May 1st till May 31st, right? May 1st to May 31st. Thank you. It is pretty fire, right? I love this. I love this painting. So from May 1st to May 31st is 30 days, right? So what I would do is, okay, May 1st to May 31st, no days off is Zero Dark 30, which means for those 30 days, I'm locked in. Okay. It's not that I'm going to stop doing my work. It's not that I'm not going to go to my job. It's not that I'm not going to hang out with friends. But for the time that I decide that I'm going to work on myself, I'm going to be very intentional with. So for me, that time was always between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. or 7 to 10. That was always my time, right? I always used to take 3 hours for me every single day. Now, for those 3 hours, everything was very, very intentional. Remember, it's not about the actions, it's about the intention behind the actions. So everything I did was very intentional, from the time that I woke up to my prayers, to the way that I brushed my teeth, to the way that I would read my goals, to the way that I meditated, to the books that I was reading, the way that I was journaling, the audios I was listening to. Everything was very intentional. Nothing was just to do it. Nothing was just, Nano's been telling me to do a morning routine, so I'm going to just do a morning routine. Or Nano's been telling me to journal, so I'm going to journal. No, everything was done with a very specific intention. Because at the end of the day, guy, the biggest enemy we have in our lives is not our friends, is not our parents, is not our teachers, it's not our bosses, it's not the government, it's not Instagram, it's not TikTok. Who is our biggest enemy in our lives? It's us. We are our biggest enemies. We are literally the only people holding ourselves back from getting to where we want to go to. We are literally our own worst enemy. We stop ourselves from waking up early. We stop ourselves from taking actions on the things that we say we're going to take actions on. We're the ones that procrastinate. We're the ones that lack the discipline. We're the ones that can't stay consistent sometimes. We are our own worst enemy. So when you think about our training today, the mountain is you. You got to think about it, guys. We are the people that we need to overcome. We need to learn how to overcome our own challenges, our own obstacles. We need to be the ones that understand our minds and be able to really take this down, because in order for you to get to where you want to go to, you have to overcome your internal mountains. Okay, you need to overcome those internal mountains that are holding you back. You got to be able, think about it, how do you overcome an internal mountain? You got to climb. You got to go up the mountain. You got to be willing to face the mountain. Too many of us are just standing at the bottom of the mountain, looking at our problems and our obstacles like this and wondering, if these things are ever going to change. The only way you're ever going to see, right, what's on the other side of that mountain is by facing it, is by going and climbing it and overcoming it. So I had to overcome all my fears. I had to overcome all the doubts, all the insecurities. I had to work on myself. I had to overcome my self-talk. I had to overcome a lot of my childhood traumas. I had to overcome and forgive people in my life that had did me wrong. I had to overcome all of those things because those were mountains in my life that were holding me back. I couldn't get to where I wanted to get without overcoming those mountains. So the mountain is you. The first thing I need to break down is help you guys understand the metaphor, because the mountain is us. And it represents the challenges and the obstacles and the inner battles that we fight on a day-to-day basis. Okay. And I'm very grateful that I'm doing this training, because I know that a lot of us have mountains that we want to fight, right? Put a 3 in the chat box if you are currently climbing a mountain that you need to overcome, right? Let me put some 3s in the chat box myself. I'm currently overcoming certain mountains still to this day. I'm on this training and I'm training you guys on this, but it's not like I've overcome every mountain, right? They say that, listen to what they say, right? There's a quote that says, at the end of one mountain is the start of the next one. And it's the truth, right? At the top of one mountain starts the next one. And that's the truth of every single situation, right? I overcome one situation, one mountain, the next time, now I got to get ready for the next one. I got to get ready for the next one, and I got to get ready for the next one. Okay? And it almost feels like it doesn't stop. But that's what Jim Rohn said. He said, becoming the best version of yourself is an unending journey to see who you can become, to see how far you can climb, to see how much you can grow, how much you can elevate, how much you're going to be able to do. So remember, guys, the mountain is you. You got to learn how to become a better version of you. You got to identify what are those challenges, what are those things that you're currently going through, so that we can face those head on. So that's the metaphor. That's number one. I just wanted to make sure you guys understood the metaphor. That's number one. You got to understand the metaphor. Now, number two, this is very important. Let's talk about this one. Number two is we got to explore the self-discovery now. There's self-discovery that needs to happen now. We need to become aware of our own strengths. We got to become aware of our weaknesses. Okay. We got to confront certain situations in our lives, because remember, you can't heal what you hide, and you can't fix what you face to confront. You can't heal what you hide, and you can't fix what you fail to confront. All right. So these are things that we have to sit down and we have to write down. This is why journaling is so important. This is why journaling is so important, so that you can take the time now to heal what you're hiding. Sometimes it's important to talk about these things. When I was currently going through what I went through last year, I'm so grateful that I was able to be vulnerable with certain people in my life. I'm so grateful for those individuals, right? Because I had people in my life that were helping me heal, that were there for me, that I could talk to, that I could be like, hey, look, this is what I'm going through. This is how I feel. Help me. But had I kept that to myself always, I wouldn't have been able to heal what I was hiding because I'm hiding it. And I would have never been able to fix what I was failing to confront. Sometimes it's important to look for consultation. It's so key. You gotta be willing to find people that you trust that are gonna be there for you to help you self-discover yourself. Because sometimes people see you and they see mistakes that you may not see. I've had to do that. I've had to go to my mentors. I've had to go to my friends and ask them, yo, what are some blind spots that you see in me? What are some things that I do that you don't agree with all the time? What do you think I can do better as a man, as a brother, as a mentor, as a friend? Right? Because sometimes we don't see it ourselves. Remember, what do I always teach? If you don't know, you can't do. So if you don't know what you need to overcome, if you don't know what it is that you're doing wrong, you can't fix it. So in order for you to defeat the enemy, you got to know the enemy. So it's very important that you guys go through a self-discovery process, figuring out, hey, you know what? I lack discipline. I say I'm going to the gym and I never go. Yo, I'm addicted to smoking weed and chilling with my friends, and I choose to do that over working on myself. You got to face those things. I had to discover those things myself, right? I had to sit there and discover those things myself because those things are so important to me. What were the big distractions that were holding me back? I had to figure that out. I had to sit there and be like, okay, Nano, too much smoking with the friends, too much going out on the weekends, right? Too much time spent talking to girls and stuff like that, right? When I went through that self-discovery process years ago, I had to realize my mistakes. I had to realize what I was doing wrong. And it took me sitting down, right? And this is something I do all the time. I'm sure, where's my other journal at? In this journal right here, I'm sure I can find you guys a Be Real With Yourself journal. Let me see if I could find it real quick, man. It'll be so dope if I could find it. But I do these journal entries sometimes where I be like, yo, it's time to be real with yourself. Let me see. I wish I could find one of those. I know it's somewhere in here, but I do these journal entries where I write down, like I literally at the top of it, I'd be like, yo, be real with yourself, Nano. So that way, sometimes all you need is for you to be real with yourself. That's a self-discovery process where you're actually being honest and being like, yo, you know what? You need to do this. You need to do that. You've been distracted here. Like, because at the end of the day, we all know what we're doing wrong. We all know where we're slacking off at. We all know the things that we're supposed to be doing that we're not doing. We know the way that we're supposed to be treating certain people in our lives that we're not treating them the way that we're supposed to. So when you do that self-discovery process, it's important that you go through it and you be honest with yourself. No, I can't find it, guys. I know there's one in here, but I'm trying to read it to you guys so you guys can see how real it is to be real. But I'll find it and I'll read it to you guys one day. But I highly recommend you guys to do one of those journal entries at some point this week. Make it a be real with myself. Let me be real and be real with yourself about everything. Remember, you're not going to share this with anybody. This is just for you. This is just for you. And this is part of the self-discovery process. And when you sit there and you start being real with yourself, right? Because one thing is, like, you could be real with yourself in your mind. But in your mind, you can only put so many things together. But when you start writing it down, next thing you know, that entry will turn into 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages. And you'll just be there writing, and you're just gonna be honest with yourself, because who knows you better than yourself? Nobody. So you can sit there and self-discover all your BS. You can literally sit there and discover everything about yourself. You can discover your bad habits. You can discover the people that you need to forgive. You can discover, the things that you've been slacking off on, that you've been brushing under the rug. You can forgive yourself for all these other things, forgive other people. You can sit there and it's just, you'll start to become aware of your mistakes, the things you need to overcome, the battles you need to fight. And some of us need that. Some of us need that right now. You need to go into a self-discovery mode and figure out what is it that's holding you back. Because we're 4 months into the new year already. And if you're not happy with where you are, you got to make sure that you are becoming aware of what's holding you back. And even if you are happy with where you are, you want to make sure that whatever it is that's there, that's holding you back from getting you to that next level, that you face that as well. Because look, I'm very happy where I'm at. I'm grateful for where I'm at, but I'm still in that self-discovery process. I'm still figuring out, you know what? I need to do more of this. I need to let less of this. I need to be more consistent with this. And I need to be, I need to let go of this, like it's one of those things that all of us need to understand, because unless we actually go through this self-discovery process, a lot of us will kind of stay in these exact same places. Be real with yourself, because nobody could be more real with yourself than yourself. Sit down, grab a journal, and just start writing. You don't even need to know what you're going to write. Just start writing and just start telling yourself like, yo, Nano, you know what? You haven't been consistent here. And next thing you know, that inconsistency goes into, yo, you haven't been doing this. You haven't been showing up for this. You haven't been studying as much as you're supposed to. And next thing you know, you're going to start picking things up, and you're going to start thinking about your family. You're going to start thinking about your finances. You're going to be thinking about your relationship with God. You're going to start thinking about all these different areas, and you're going to start to pick yourself apart. You're going to have to pick yourself apart in all areas: finances, God, relationships, business, social media, all of these things. And next thing you know, you're going to have pages of notes about the self-discovery that you just did about yourself. And you had to be honest with yourself, because you know what's great, and you know what's average, and you know what's not good. And you'll be able to basically give yourself a rating like, yo, you're doing this great, but you're not doing this as good. You said this, but you've been doing this. You said you were going to go here, but you haven't been going here. It's going to be one of those things that you're going to sit there and you're going to have to self-discover yourself. And it's going to be hard, but it's going to be one of the best decisions that you make. I'm telling you, it will be one of the best decisions you make. You know why? Because you're going to self-discover yourself. You're going to self-discover yourself. And I promise you that these are some of the things that I've done over the years that have helped me out so much. I took the time. I took the time to self-discover myself each and every single time that I had to. Because like I said, The Mountain Is You. As a matter of fact, I have a book that's called that. It's a great book, right? And what does it say? Look, The Mountain Is You, transforming self-sabotage into self-mastery. And part of it is that self-discovery process that we need to face. All of us do. All 250 plus of us that are on this call. We all need a self-discovery process. True facts. Put a 1 in the chat box if you need to go through a little self-discovery right now. Be honest, right? I could put a 1 in there with y'all, right? Even Nano still needs to do some self-discovery. Every level requires a new devil, right? Every level comes with a new devil, a new enemy. We're always going to be in that self-discovery process. Think about it. Some of you guys have probably never done this before. Some of you probably have never done this before. Some of you guys are hearing this for the first time. But remember, if the mountain is us, we have to go inside and figure it out. We have to go inside and figure it out. And like I always teach you guys, right? They say there is the physical side of success, and then there's the spiritual side of success. The spiritual side of success is what we cannot see, which is our thoughts and our emotions. The physical side of success is the things we can see, the actions and the results. Too many of us put too much focus on the physical, what we could see with our eyes, which is what? The actions and the results. We only focus on the physical side, right? Every day, what do? We work, we wake up and we go to work. We're only focused on the physical. We take actions. We're always looking for how much money we're getting paid, how much money people are making. Like, we're always focused on the physical, the physical, the physical, the physical. But the physical is only a reflection of the spiritual. And if you're not happy with your physical appearance, if you're not happy with your physical results, then there needs to be a change within, which is what we can see, the thoughts and the emotions that we feel subconsciously on a day-to-day basis. You need to fix the mountain inside of you, because the inside is only a reflection of the outside. Sorry, no, the outside is a reflection of the inside. So if you want the outside to change, the inside must change. So some of us need to go climb the mountain on the inside. Too many of us been trying to climb the mountain on the outside. We're trying to climb the mountain on the outside when we're not ready to climb that mountain. You need to climb the mountain on the inside first for you to be able to climb the mountain on the outside. Because you're not ready to climb that mountain on the outside yet until you climb the mountain within first. Right? I couldn't climb the mountain on the outside until I did the self-discovery myself. I needed to go within. So when I did these 0 dark 30 grinds for 30 days at a time, right? That's what I was doing. I was diving deep inside. I was spending time in meditation, right? Analyzing my thoughts, analyzing my fears, analyzing these doubts. Yo, why am I doubting myself? Why do I keep thinking that I'm not deserving of more? Why do I have fear of failure? You know, why do I feel this kind of way towards this person? Right? I had to get rid of all of those things, all of those negative emotions that I used to feel towards specific people. I had to forgive them, and I had to forgive myself for even holding those emotions towards those people. Right? Because believe it or not, guys, if you go around holding grudges, you go around holding poison in your body, negative emotions, negative things that you don't need. So, as hard as this may sound, I had to make phone calls. I had to send text messages to people that I really didn't want to talk to people that had did me wrong, so I could forgive them. Not for anything else, but for me. I needed the peace of mind that, yo, you know what? It is what it is. I'm gonna harvest the good, and I'm gonna forgive and let go of the rest. Because I didn't want the thought that every time that name came up, that there was a negative emotion attached to it. I didn't want no negativity in my body or in my vibration. So some of us, we need to do some forgiving. Some of us need to do some forgiving. And some of us need to do a forgiveness letter to ourselves, if we're honest. I wrote a forgiveness letter to myself at the end of the year. I think I could find that one. Sheesh. My forgiveness letter is so big. I can't read this to you guys because it's super personal, but I have a huge forgiveness letter. Let me see how many pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pages of forgiveness letter. Forgiving Nano. That was the first person I had to forgive, was me. Yo, I forget, and I cried too, Eunice. I cried too. I shared a couple tears because I needed to forgive myself for everything that I told myself I was going to do that I didn't do. I had to forgive myself for all the mistakes that I made. And yo, it was the best thing that I ever did. All right, I'll read some of it to you guys. Listen to this. True story. Look, I wrote it down. November 30th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. I was a location, flight from Miami to Cancun. Forgiveness letter. Dear Nano, I want to first thank you for taking the time to write this letter to yourself. It takes a lot of courage to admit your wrongs and ask for forgiveness. I pray this letter allows you to see yourself from a different perspective and allows you to remove a lot of that burden that you carry around on a day-to-day basis. Before we forgive others, We must forgive ourselves of everything that we've done. Nano, I forgive you for not building a meaningful relationship with God over the years. Nano, I forgive you for all the lies you ever told. Nano, I forgive you for not loving yourself more. Nano, I forgive you for exchanging your energy with people that you didn't need to exchange your energy with. Nano, I forgive you for not being consistent with your self-development routine. Nano, I forgive you for not making the gym a priority majority of the year. Nano, I forgive you for not documenting your journey on your journal all year. Nano, I forgive you for not managing your money better. Nano, I forgive you for not keeping your word on things you said you would do. Nano, I forgive you for playing small. Right? Nano, I forgive you for not keeping in contact with your friends more. And there's so much more there. I mean, there's certain things I wouldn't share with you guys, but I forgave myself for those things. Like, I sat there and I wrote it all down. I wrote it all down, all the things I had to forgive myself for, right? I gave you guys a couple of the things that I forgave myself for. You know, there's certain things that are personal and you don't have to share those with everybody, but I wrote down everything. I sat there, I think it was at least for like 45 minutes to an hour, just forgiving myself for everything, letting it go. And just, and the way that I felt after that, oh my God. If I could only explain how it felt after I wrote down all those things that I forgave myself for, it was the most amazing feeling. It almost felt like, when you carry around a heavy ass book bag for a long time and then you finally take it off and it's almost like, sheesh, you almost feel like, man, this weight got taken off. You feel so good. It almost feels like a breath of fresh air. It almost feels like you were breathing heavy and now you can finally like, wow, man, that felt amazing to let that all go. Sometimes that's what we need to do. Some of us on this call, like I said, you need to go into that self-discovery process. The mountain is you. This is hard right here, guys. Trust me, the hardest challenge we're ever going to face is us. The reason why life is easier for me now is because of all the hard things I've had to do in the past. The reason why I have so much peace today is because of all the chaos that I faced before. All the things that I faced in the past. Now that's the reason why I have so much peace of mind. That's the reason why I'm able to look at the mountains in my life and be happy to go climb them, because I look at things now from a completely different perspective. Eventually, what ends up happening, you climb enough of these mountains, you face enough of these mountains, that eventually you look forward to climb these mountains. But the first couple of ones, especially when you're in the beginning process of your self-development, those are hard. Those are difficult. But once you develop the confidence of climbing a couple of mountains, you overcome a couple challenges, you overcome a couple heartbreaks, you overcome a couple people who did you wrong, you kind of become numb to a lot of those things, to be honest. But like I said, you gotta go through the self-discovery process. You have to face it, because no one can face that for you. I can't go into your body and into your thoughts and face the mountain with you. That's one thing that all of us have to face individually, because all of us grew up in different households. All of us dealt with different situations. All of us grew up in different places, different countries, different religions, different household. We all have our own way of dealing with certain things. And some will take longer than others. So we got to face these things ourselves. I'm not here talking about making money. I'm not here talking about how we're going to get rich. I'm here talking about how we can become better ourselves. So number 2 is the self-discovery process. Very important. Okay. Number three is we must embrace resilience. We got to embrace resilience. What do I mean by resilience? Well, what is the definition of resilience? Resilience is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. What do I mean by that? You can't lose your excitement to climb the mountain just because you fall down a couple times. You can't allow the mountain to get the best of you. You got to be bigger than the mountain because we are. Don't allow the failures and the struggles and the failed attempts to get the best of you, because you are bigger than your failures, you are bigger than your challenges, and you are bigger than your obstacles. Think about it, guys. I never quit through all those challenges. Had I quit, I would have never been on this call right now. I would have never been a world-renowned speaker who has traveled to over 25 different countries to tell his story. I would have never been able to create a podcast that has traveled all around the world. Guys, I was saying this to people the other day. I was like, yo, I've been in places, in the most random places in the world, where people know me. I've been at airports in the middle of Europe where people recognize me. I've been in Ubers where people hear my voice and turn around and be like, are you Nano? Like, random Ubers in random cities. Like, yo, are you Nano? Bro, you changed my life. And all of that happened because I never quit and because I did these calls. Because I was putting myself in a position of growth. I was putting myself in a position where I was going to do whatever it took to become that best version of me. I was going to be willing to face all the challenges, all the obstacles, all the things that came with it, because I understood that the only way I lose is if I quit. Winners never quit, and losers never win, right? Because they quit. You got to be the individual that doesn't quit no matter how hard it gets. You can't quit. And I'm still going, still to this day. It's still a challenge for me each and every single day. But you got to embrace resilience. You got to be the most resilient person in your culture, in your community, in your friend group. You got to be the resilient one, because your friends are waiting for you to go and take it to the next level. Had a great conversation with one of my leaders the other day, and he was asking me, he was like, bro, you know, I want to help my friends. I want to help them win. I want to help them elevate. I want to help them take themselves to the next level. He was like, how come they don't want to join me right now? How come they don't listen to me? How come they don't respect me right now? And I'm like, you know why? Because you're still in the same place as them. You still eat at the same places as them. You're still too accessible to them. You need to go out there and create such a big success story for yourself that they have no other option but to follow you. But as long as you are here with them and you're eating at the same places as them, you're hanging out at the same places as them, as long as they can still come and knock at your door and open the door to your house and hang out with you in your room, you're still too close to them. They're not going to respect you. How are they going to respect you if you're still right there with them? They're not. It's unfortunate, and it's the reality of the situation, but most people won't. You got to go out there and do things that they've never done. You got to read more than them. You got to study more than them. You got to go to more networking events than them. You got to build that business that they don't believe in. You need to go out there and do the things that they don't want to do, so that way they can start to respect you. A lot of people around my neighborhoods and where I grew up, they didn't respect me till I moved out of the hood. Right? Because why would they respect me if I'm still in the same place as them? I'm still eating at the same delis as them. You know, we still hang out at the same places. But once I moved and now I'm living in Miami, now I'm traveling the world. Now I'm in Barcelona. Now I'm jumping out of planes in Dubai. I'm spending time with cages and with tigers in Thailand. I'm zip lining through the jungles of Costa Rica. I'm at the top of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Like, now they're like, oh, damn, everything Nano was telling us was actually real. All this work that Nano did, it actually paid off. And guess what? Now they wanted to do the work, because now they wanted to live the life that I was living. Now they want to move out of their parents' house. Now they want to travel the world. Now they want to make multiple six figures. Now they want to do these things. Why? Because I led the way first. Remember, you guys on this call, you're going to have to be the one that leads the way for your friends, for your families, for your colleagues, for your teammates, for everybody. Some of us need to be the one that lead the way. And you can run from that. If you were the one that were chosen to lead the way, then lead the way. Don't run from it. Don't be scared about it. Lead the way. Some of you guys were chosen to lead the way for your kids. You want to be the one that leads the way for your kids. You know something? My father always told me this, man, and I'm so grateful. He always told me, and I never understood why he used to tell me these things, but he said he used to work so hard because he said he would always just tell me as a kid, he was like, the last thing I ever want you to be in life is a taxi driver. He said, I failed you as a father if you grow up and you're a taxi driver just like me. He used to tell me that all the time. He said, I work so hard every single day. I go to work 7 days a week, 300 plus times a year to make sure that at one point in your life, when you grow up and you graduate, that you're not a taxi driver just like your dad. And I never understood why he was so passionate about it. But now that I'm older, I get why he did what he did. I get why now he always told me those things. And now that I'm older, I've seen people. It really does break my heart because my father dedicated so many years to that. He would always tell me that. I never understood why. Never in my life understood why. That because he did the best with what he could. Immigrant from Dominican Republic, freaking graduated. I don't even think my father finished high school, man. He's been a taxi driver his whole life. He was a taxi driver in the Dominican Republic before he came here and did it for another 30 years. So my father's probably been a taxi driver, if you want to add up the years, close to 45, 50 years of his life. That's all he knows is how to be a taxi driver. It's all he knows. And he would always tell me that. He would always be like, Papi, the last thing I want is for you to be a taxi driver. I'll work 80 hours a week just so that you won't ever have to do the same thing I did. He would always tell me, Papi, I would fail you as a father if one day you're a taxi driver like me. He was like and then his biggest happiness in the world is him seeing me travel the world now. Him seeing me become a world-renowned speaker. They're happy. They're proud. I live my life at peace because of how proud my parents are of me. Because a lot of their friends, a lot of my parents' friends, their kids are drug dealers. Their kids did not accomplish what they said they were going to accomplish. Some of my friends are dead, unfortunately, in jail. I never disrespected my parents. I never talked back to my parents. Never talk back to my parents. And they're so proud of the man I became. And that makes me so happy and so at peace. But what did I have to do? I had to work very, very hard. I had to overcome the mountain, which was me. Because what you don't understand is that mountain that's in you, a lot of those habits, a lot of those limitations, a lot of that self-talk comes from your parents. So not only are you overcoming the mountain you have inside of you, but you're also overcoming the mountains that were passed down to you from the generations of your parents and your family members as well. So I'm climbing the mountain for the whole entire generation of the Torres family. I'm overcoming all these generational curses. I'm fighting all our battles for all the family members that came before me. So you got to embrace it because it's going to be hard. I'm fighting hundreds of years of generational programming. Some of us think that these things are going to happen in a year. No, fam, I've been fighting this for 7 years now. You think it's going to happen overnight? It's not going to happen overnight. We have to overcome years of generational curses, years of bad programming, years of limitations, years of bad self-talk, years and years and years and years of it. It's not going to happen in 1 year. It's not going to happen in 6 months. But once you overcome it, you never got to worry about it again. I know that. That's why I work so hard for it. Because if it takes me 10 years to overcome hundreds of years of bad programming and bad limitations and all of that, then guess what? For the next hundreds of years, none of my kids will ever have to struggle because of the sacrifices I made, the battles I fought, the things I had to overcome. Like La Tierra said, it ends with me. The curses end with me. Everything ends here. Everything ends here. There's no other option. I got the receipt. Here, Nano, this is what it costs for you to break the generational curses for your family. Are you willing to pay for it? If you don't pay for it, then guess what? You pass it down to your kids, and then your kids are going to have to pay for it. So they gave me the receipt. Yo, this is what it's going to cost, Nano. Long receipt. One of those long receipts that you got to just, sheesh. This is everything I got to overcome. Okay, let's do it. I'll pay it in full, and I'm going to leave a good tip. Pay it in full and leave a good tip. Who's ready to do that? Type a 222 in the chat box if you are ready to do that. In order for you to do that, you got to embrace resilience. Okay? You got to embrace resilience. All right? And then last but not least, number 4. Number 4 is you got to empower personal growth. Right? So let me go over it one more time from the top. Number 1, you got to understand the metaphor of the mountain is you, representing that the mountain is inside of you. You are that mountain. We said number 2 was exploring self-discovery. You got to explore. You got to get to know yourself more. Number 3, we got to embrace resilience. It's going to be hard. It's not going to happen overnight, guys. I tell you guys this all the time. People think that your life is going to change in 1 year. It can. But it may take years before that 1 year changes your life. That's the truth. So embrace resilience. And then number 4, empower personal growth. Okay? You got to fall in love with personal growth. Personal growth has to be a part of your life, a part of your routine. The same way you shower every day, the same way you eat every day, the same way you brush your teeth every day is the same way that you must personally grow yourself every single day. Every single day. Every single day. You can't go a day without working on you. You can't go a day without feeding your mind. You guys make it a priority to make sure that you feed your body every day, but you don't make it a priority to feed your mind every day. And that's where the disconnect is happening. You feed your body every day. You get hangry when you don't eat, but you don't get angry when you don't feed your mind. Where does that make sense? Think about that. We get mad. We get uneasy. We start starving. We get desperate when we don't eat. We'll do whatever it takes to find anything to feed our bodies the moment we're hungry. But do we have that same tenacity and that same excitement and that same sense of urgency when we're not pouring into our minds? Some of you guys haven't even read a book this year. Some of you guys have listened to more minutes and more hours of music than you've listened to audios and podcasts. Some of you guys have spent more money eating out and hanging out with your friends than you've spent on events and investing into mentorship. Let's be real. Let's be honest here. Some of us have spent more time on Instagram than more time visualizing our goals. Some of us are spending so much time with friends and people that aren't even helping us when we should be spending time with communities and mentors that can help us elevate our lives. We got to change, fam. We really have to change. I don't know how many times you got to hear it, but I'm going to be here to remind you guys each and every single day until you make the decision to change. How you haven't read a book this year? How you've listened to more music this year than audios and podcasts? How you spent more money this year on eating out and clubs and drinking and weed, but you haven't even spent $1 on an event or mentorship? How is that possible? But then we're the ones that complain, oh, my situation sucks. I'm living check to check, blah, 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 blah. It gotta hurt. It gotta hurt. It has to hurt you. When I used to be that person though. I used to be the person that listened to more music than I did audios. I used to be the person that you couldn't pay me to pick up a book. You couldn't pay me to visualize and read my goals and all this stuff. I used to be that person, bro. And I was the most miserable person when I was there. I was miserable. My life was in chaos. And then I had to get right. And everything I'm telling you guys is from a place of love. I'm not doing it to throw it in your face and make you feel bad. I'm doing it to wake you up. Like, yo, wake up. Like, how much longer are we going to do this for? Right? Like, how much longer are we going to stay in this place? How much longer are we going to continue to let these things get the best of us? We got to make a change and we got to stick to it. You guys don't have a problem with making the change. It's sticking to the change. We can all change, right? You could be like, yo, Nano, you know what? You're right, bro. Tomorrow I'm going to start reading. Tomorrow I'm going to the gym. Tomorrow, I'm going to listen. I'm only going to listen to audios and podcasts. But okay, you did it tomorrow, but can you do it the next day? Can you do it for a week? Can you do it for a month? Can you do it for 3 months, for 6 months, for a year, for 2 years? Can you do it like Nano's been doing it for 5+ years? And the reason why I do this is because I want to be able to cut the time that it took me in half for you. Because sometimes there's one person that has to walk through the mud so you guys could walk through the marble. I've already walked through the mud. I've read all the books. I listened to all the audios. I did all the strategies, everything. And then I'm literally telling you guys, like, yo, here, look, walk on this marble floor real quick. I've already painted it out for you. This is the book you got to read. These are the audios you got to listen to. These are the letters you got to write to yourself. This is how you journal. This is how you do everything. Just follow this. Just follow what I'm telling you. I started at the bottom, 0 in the bank, overdrafted accounts. Nothing, no belief, no support, no nothing from nobody. No money, nothing. I started from 0, absolute 0. I started in the negatives, and I was in the negatives before I was in the positives. I was in the negative for years before I went in the positives. As a matter of fact, I was in the negatives for the first 2 years of my journey before I went positive. And that's the truth. That is the real truth. And today I give all the glory and thanks to God. Because sheesh, man, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. So those are the 4 things you guys got to understand when it comes to the mountain is you. Put a 4 in the chat box if you guys got value from today's call. We're going to wrap it up right there. I think I'm pretty late to my call, actually. But hopefully he held it down. He knows I was doing mornings with Nano, so I got to hop off here. But guys, take this very serious. Like the information that I teach you guys on this call is valuable information. And the amazing thing about it is things you've already heard. Everything I said here today, you already know, right? We already know this. That's the craziest part about it. Like, I'm teaching this to you guys. Let's be honest. How many times have we not heard, yo, self-discovery, embrace the challenges, do the personal development. How many times have we not heard this, right? It's like the same thing being said in different ways. The mountain is you is one way of us saying, hey, overcome your challenges, overcome your obstacles. It's literally the same thing being said in different ways. But you got to repeat it over and over and over and over and over again. Because even I needed to hear this. Even though I know this, I've heard it maybe 1,000 times over the last 5 years. And even still, I get value from hearing myself talk about it. Because I still need to do self-discovery. I still need to embrace challenges and embrace resilience. I still need to be on my personal growth journey, still to this day. So trust me, guys, you guys are not alone, all right? So with that being said, that is my training for today. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this. Please subscribe to this channel. If you guys have not subscribed, leave a like, leave a comment below, like this video, share with a friend, share with a family member. I'm sure that there's people that need this training right here today. Right? Put a 1 if you know somebody right now that needed to hear this that's not here today. Man, I know a lot of people that are not here today that needed to hear everything I said on this call today. Right? So let's make sure we do that. Oh, my guy's texting me coming. Boom. So let's make sure that we do that because, this is very, very important information. So, with that being said, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I am live on YouTube Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you guys want to stay up to date with, where I drop the calls, go on my Instagram bio at Long Live Nano. And on my bio, you have the opportunity to be a part of my Nano's exclusive mentorship group where I drop value information, but I also share my calls that I do every 2 weeks in there as well. So stay plugged in with that. Share this with a friend, share this with a family member, subscribe to the channel. And then let me just do a quick prayer for all of us before we go. So if anybody wants to stay on the call and allow me to pray, let's just pray. Today, I'm just going to pray gratitude for us. So I'm going to just practice some gratitude for us. Everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, we want to say thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Thursday. We are extremely grateful, and words cannot describe how grateful we are for everything that you're doing for us each and every single day. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the wisdom. Thank you for standing by our side through this process of climbing these mountains that we are climbing on a day-to-day basis. Thank you for giving us the strength. Thank you for giving us a community that's going to support us and love us, and is going to continue to guide us through this process. Thank you for our health. Thank you for our families. Thank you for the challenges that you put in our lives to make us better. Thank you for making us strong. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you do for us each and every single day. We are so extremely grateful to have a leader, have a father like you that continues to guide us through this process each and every single day. And today, we don't really want to ask for anything at all. We just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for it all. Our hands are open to receive all the blessings that you're going to have for us, but we are just so extremely grateful for everything that you've already given us and everything that we have today. So we love you so much. We appreciate you, and we are so grateful for you. In God's name we pray. Amen, amen, amen. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God is the greatest. There's nobody better. And I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your life. I hope you guys have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I will see you guys again on Tuesday for another episode of Mornings with Nano, YouTube edition. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday. God bless. Love you guys. Awesome.